Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to Kiss My Ace, French Open Recap Edition. What a great 2 weeks of tennis we had. What a crazy time it is in the tennis world. Seems like every which way we turn, we're getting some tennis. And who would have thought back in March when you were laying in your bed, couldn't go outside, couldn't go anywhere, just sitting there watching Netflix, couldn't work. Who would have thought that we would have so many weeks of great tennis? We gotta be thankful. Now when you look back at this French Open, I think you will see a tale of two stories. On the men's side, Rafael Nadal, possibly one of the most dominant performers of all time in one location. The man doesn't lose here. And then on the women's side, you have Iga Swiatek, and if you're sitting at home and you're not a big tennis guy or girl, you're thinking, who? Who? Yeah, Iga. That's who. Know the name. And while they are two very different performers and just based off notoriety alone, they both put in dominating performances. Like Iga did not drop a set, and no set was closer than 7-5. She put up Nadal numbers. So I kind of want to break down the women's side first. Iga is 19. Rewind. She is 19 years old. And I think we take for granted a lot the youth performers in tennis. Because you see these 16, 15, 17-year-olds who are putting in solid performances at Grand Slams. You have the Coco Gauffs, the other ones. But we just had a teenager win a Grand Slam. Put this in perspective, I am 20 years old. About to be 21. Nice flex. Let's take a look back at things that I did when I was 19. Number one, I thought it was cool to wear this. Hate to break it to you, it wasn't. Number two, I flew a kite for the first time. That was fun. Number three, I joined a fraternity. Officially became a Chad. Now let's look at the things that I did not do when I was 19 years old. Coming in at number one on that list is win the French Open. I can't even imagine being on that stage, having to perform at a high level at 19. Again, she's just built different. I think we need to stop taking for granted what an incredible feat that is to win a Grand Slam as a teenager. As a teenager, you're a kid. She's a kid. Now, you look at the men's side. I mean, what Rafael Nadal has done at the French is historic. I think you can look at it outside of tennis. Might be the most dominant, Rafael Nadal might be the most dominant performer at a particular event in any sport ever. I think Rafael Nadal at the French might be the most dominant performance at any event ever. Here are some contenders. We have Michael Phelps at the Olympics.
Michael Phelps, 51-20.
Pretty high up there. I mean, the man can swim. He might be a fish, so that could be cheating. But we have Mariano Rivera, 9th inning, Yankee Stadium. Talk about a moment. He was unhittable. There was a stretch there for probably a better part of a decade. I mean, he was unhittable. He would not be touched.
Looks like it's going to be Mo. Greatness coming into the Yankee game for the final time here in the Bronx.
And then another one, top of my head, Eli Manning, 4th quarter of a Super Bowl.
Eli Manning stays on his feet, airs it out down the field. It is caught by Tyree.
Small sample size, but dominant nonetheless. But again, when you stack it up against the greats, it's literally ridiculous how someone can be that good at something. And speaking of being that good at something, with the win at this year's French Open, Rafael Nadal has tied Roger Federer for the most Grand Slam titles. Now, there's two ways to look at this. The optimistic view. We have two all-time greats that we get to view and see in their primes, and now even later when they're not in their prime, still dominating the game. You can look at it that way. Be optimistic, enjoy it. Or, a little more pessimistic. They're tied right now. They're tied. Even. Let's imagine a world in which they kind of fall off a cliff. Not literally, but maybe their game doesn't really translate to the new game in 2021. And neither of them end up winning a Grand Slam title. I know. It's a pessimistic viewpoint, but not impossible. So, are we really going to settle with the tie? Is that what we're going to be dealt with? I have very strong opinions about ties. I think soccer is a stupid sport. Only when they allow ties. Like World Cup, that's cool. You need to have it. You need to have a winner. You can't go out there and compete for 90 minutes or however long these games last and tie. It's sports. You have a winner and a loser. You know that saying, it's like you either win or you get a lesson to learn. Losing doesn't count. You can't do either of those if you tie. Ties are the dumbest thing instituted in sports.
Well, I've never been a part of a tie. Never even knew that was in the rule book.
Period. But yep, that's all I got. Thanks you guys for watching. As always, I will see you every week. Obviously, we took a little break so we could enjoy the French Open. But we're back. Don't worry. We got these videos, got a lot of stuff planned. Hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. And remember, if you didn't like anything I said this week, well, kiss my ace.